Howdy everyone, and welcome back to the Luna Geeks Out channel. Today we are checking out Memorable by BAND-MAID. To my understanding, this is sort of a follow-up song to About Us, which we checked out whenever it released here on the channel. I forget how long ago that was. That was really nice. If this is somewhat similar to that, I should love it. Lyrically, admittedly, I'm going to go and say my thoughts on the lyrics are going to be a little rough today. It is like 80 degrees outside. It's not that much colder in here. I've got the fan on, but it's not making much of a difference. So I'm struggling a bit today. I'm not built for the heat. So yeah, my thoughts on the lyrics may suffer a little bit today, but there's some good stuff. So, ramblings aside, very happy to be checking this one out. So, without further ado, let's hop into it. This was filmed in California, I think I read. Hold on. I got it. How is it like? That was not 720p, that was like 3, whatever it is, at best. Some acoustic guitar in there. Good vocals. I'm so glad to see you again. 時が続くように暗い日々さえ with you 無意味なものはないよ You shot me down last night I feel my heart living with you. Okay, so your drums, bass, all that kicking in, very nice. Yeah, we're gonna look at the drums in this one. Just a good, simple beat, but good feel to it. Good bass there. Yeah, I know there's a little bit more energy that kicks in during the chorus, but it still has a lot of that chill vibe and everything. That's really nice. Man, just... Okay. Yeah, that was a cool little moment there. Alright, so that was what I was going to talk about before the like guitar solo happened and distract me. The pause they have like the end of the chorus with the music, but the vocals continue. Love that moment. That was what I was going to say. I thought that was neat. But yeah, that was I don't know. I'm conflicted on this. I mean, that was good. There's a word I was looking for. I'm losing it, but yeah, that was actually quite nice. Quite nice. I do think I like About Us a little more, but excellent follow-up to it. Yeah, that was fantastic. So, lyrical analysis time. Again, it is very hot, and I am just a bit out of it because of that, because like I said, I'm not built for these high temperatures. So, my commentary on the lyrics may struggle a little bit today. But, essentially, much like About Us, this is basically a song towards the fans. If memory serves correctly, it's been a long time since I've listened to this song, and an even longer time since I've looked at the lyrics for this song. If memory serves correctly, About Us was written during COVID. I'm not going to say that with utmost certainty, because that was fairly early into my, into my... I don't know what the word to look for. It's fairly early into the channel, and that started during COVID. But it was essentially about how they were unable to perform and how they missed the fans and everything like that, if memory serves correctly. This is sort of a follow-up to that, now that they've been able to perform and see the fans again. Right? So, I'm just going to be pointing out a few specific lines in here instead of doing what I've been doing as of late, and reading through all the stuff, just because there's not as much I'm able to grab today. But this section in verse 1, my heart beats so fast, filled with feelings from the past. Did I add another word in there? My heart beats fast. Did I say so fast? Huh. Let me redo that. My heart beats fast, filled with feelings from the past. I'm so glad to see you again. Let this time continue on. Right, so it's looking back on, you know, back in, back before COVID, when they were able to tour and when they were able to see the fans, you know, filled with feelings from the past, looking back on those memories, and then so glad to see you again, you know, they're back to doing this, let this continue on, you know, they want to be able to keep performing and keep seeing the fans and everything like that. And then the second section, even in the dark days, reach you, nothing exists without meaning, you showed me that last night. Just again, a reflection on sort of the importance of being able to perform and see these fans, and sort of a look at how important they are to the fans as well. I'm grabbing a bit of that right there. Just sort of that connection they're able to make, a lot of different things tied up within there. In the chorus, the two lines I want to point out are, you love me, I can't express it with words, I guess my heart is filled with love before that is worth noting with that as well. Again, ties a bit back into that connection I was talking about within I can't express it with words, I think is very important within the context of this being a song, because, you know, that what they're trying to say to the fans, like, sure, it's conveyed in the lyrics, but it's not something that they can just say by, like, I don't know, like, just talking, interacting with the fans during the concert, you know, the kind of stuff that happens, or, you know, just saying something in an interview or whatever. It needs this full context of, you know, the more poetic nature of song lyrics and the, you know, music accompanying it, which oftentimes really helps build up and support the emotion that's being conveyed. And the performance as well, like a live performance, can very much impact all of this. So what I'm covering there is, I can't express it with words, is it's not just something they can say, and it needs to be conveyed through the music and through the performance and everything like that. Verse 2, I really like the line, I want to wrap myself in this moment, just wanting to, you know, sit with this, hold on to this a bit longer, not necessarily leave this. Time flies when you're having fun, marking its passage. I mean, like, a concert is a very fun time, and you get to the end, it's like, oh man, it's done already? I could have gone for some more. Man, that went by so fast, you know, that kind of thing. But then the laughter and tears, all of it, I won't forget, no, never memorable last night. Like, it went by so fast, but there's so much wrapped up in it. So much great stuff, so much powerful stuff, so much important stuff. And at the end, I won't forget, no, never memorable last night. It's looking back on that, I suppose, that concert, now that they're back to being able to tour, back to being able to perform, and just how powerful that was, reflecting on that, and like, that's something that's going to stick with them forever. And I mean, speaking as a someone who's never performed at a concert, but someone who's been to a couple concerts, that's the thing I can definitely understand. Like, I don't remember, all the specifics of every concert I've been to, right? But, like, there are still moments I can visualize perfectly. Like, the first concert I went to, I was a little zoned out. I was looking off to the side, stage was off this way, and, the drummer for the band that started the opening act, All Good Things, really good band, by the way. Check them out if you haven't heard of them. But the drummer had come up on stage. I had missed it, and he starts playing the drums. I'd been zoned out. I didn't realize he was up there. So, like, just that initial drum beat in Kingdom, I think the track they started with was, like, hit me like a truck. I was like, whoa, that like, blast from, like, like, loud but not overwhelming music just coming from the speakers prior to the concert to, like, actual live music was incredible. I can still remember that. I can still remember, a few moments like getting involved in songs as part of the crowd, things like that. There's stuff that just sticks with you. So that right there, to wrap up my tangent, that memorable last night and then the product I won't forget, no never, like, man, I understand that. And then at the end of the second chorus, a dream about your smile, smile about your smile. Yeah, it's always weird reading this stuff off when you get to sections like that, that don't necessarily work as well being read. But just, I think another reminder that this is that's going to stick with them. And also, just a reminder of how happy that the crowd is being able to see them again. And then the bridge, the part I want to point out in that is the second half. So I want to shine on you tonight, 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 is the way I'm reading that, is just wanting to put on a great show, wanting to, put their all into this for the crowd, for the fans, that kind of thing. And then the chorus again at the end, until we can meet again somewhere we dream of a world, is, I think, just a reminder that, like, the show is going to end, that we're going to go on, but we're hopefully we can see you again, hopefully we can relive this experience again, and until that happens, we're going to dream of it happening, is how I'm reading that. So, yeah, no, I wasn't able to dive into everything in this song, unfortunately, partially due to some stuff just not standing out, and partially due to it being way too hot today for it to be pretty early into spring still. But, no, good stuff. Nice, wholesome song. Has some actually really solid lines in it. I really like this one. I really like this one. It's a bit of a feel-good song, which is, always nice to hear. Now to talk about the music. That was fantastic, right? It's a bit of a... It's a ballad song, which can sometimes... I was reading through some of the comments on the BAND-MAID subreddit on this, just trying to get a little more context behind it, prior to check this out. And a few folks were saying it's a bit generic, and like, it's hard to make a ballad that isn't generic. I didn't really feel that with this, right? Like, it was like, yeah, it's very clearly sort of that ballad style, but it didn't feel generic to me. It felt very much like just the only way I'd say it would be like generic is it feels like just another BAND-MAID song, right? It feels like just another song in their sort of unmistakable style, but it's a very new sound as well. It's somewhat similar to, it's one of the songs of is it World Domination, or what is it, Conquest is the other album, Conqueror, what? I'm drawing a blank on the song name. There's one they have that I really like that has a somewhat similar sound. That was the only thing that I thought of when listening to this. Like, yeah, it's kind of similar to that. It's another song from BAND-MAID in that somewhat slower style. But I would not describe it as generic by any means. It was really good. A lot of the elements were very familiar, but not generic. So let's dive into those specific elements, starting off with the vocals. They're fantastic. Psyche's vocals, as expected, were amazing. And she is one of my favorite vocalists in hard rock. Just absolutely phenomenal voice, really shown forth in this track. Miku's backing vocals didn't hit quite as hard for me. I thought those were a little underutilized, and I think what was done with them, I think it could have just hit a bit harder. They're fine. didn't stand out to me quite as much. They were good. They provided a good backing to what Psyche was doing. I thought they could have done perhaps a bit more, and I'm sure they'll grow on me as I listen to it more, so I'm not gonna have this be like a big criticism against them, like a big failure. They've been better in other songs I've heard, vocals were great in this. The guitar, nice to hear some acoustic guitar in there. I love a good acoustic guitar, so that's always nice. And then the actual electric guitar, it wasn't like your standard like rock or metal distortion, like super heavy. I don't know exactly what style it would be, but it was a much subtler distortion that I really liked. I thought that was great. I thought that was great. Just good, chill vibes. You had the guitar solo that kicked in, a bit more energy. Didn't work quite as well for me some of the other stuff on the first listen. I think it will grow on me, much like the backing vocals, but it was like, it was pretty cool. I don't know how well it's going to fit into the song as I listen to it more. But guitar solo was cool, so yeah, guitar, and this was really good. The bass, not quite as strong as some of the BAND-MAID songs I've heard, but it really shone forth at a few points, just good backing throughout. They always have some really rich bass, so on this listen, I felt like it was, again, just a little underutilized, and I think it's also just a little too low in the mix for my tastes more than anything else. I mean, skill-wise, again, it was fantastic. I'm gonna feel terrible if I mess her name up, but Misa, I think it is probably my favorite bassist. So obviously I'm not gonna say anything bad about her skill or anything. I just do think the bass was a little too low in the mix. But what I did hear was fantastic, and then the drums were amazing. Not a lot to say on them, but I was like, oh, these are super good. Like, it was simple. Sure, but they had a few months where they really solid, and just the whole time, it's just a good, solid beat that felt really nice, was able to get into the groove of it, so yeah, loved the drums in this. So, all in all, there's been BAND-MAID songs that perhaps I've gotten into a bit more. They've had a bit more energy, they've had perhaps a groove that just hits me a bit harder, but this song, on this initial listen, was absolutely beautiful, and I'm sure as I listen to it more, it's going to grow on me more and more. Just fantastic track right off the bat. Yeah, I do think a couple moments were, a little weaker than they could have been, but, it is what it is. It's not something that damages the song by any means. It just, I do think it perhaps could have been a little stronger. But yeah, great song. The past few songs I've heard from BAND-MAID have been a little rough. Like, it's been some just good, solid, hard rock, but I feel like, whatever the last EP they had, the songs I've heard off of that so far haven't been quite up on the same level as, the previous album, Unseen World, I think it was, the stuff off of, World Domination, the stuff off of, I think it's Conqueror, that, I've heard. I don't think it's been up to the same level as those. So it felt like they were growing perhaps a little stagnant. So hearing this, where again it's a bit different, they're perhaps pushing their boundaries a little bit and things like that, is really nice. And I hope we continue to see this level of just, messing around a little bit and perhaps experimentation and such in their more standard stuff. So yeah, I think if we continue with stuff like this, not necessarily sound-wise, but sort of quality-wise, if that makes any sense, I think the stuff we're going to get from BAND-MAID next is going to be fantastic. I mean, even if it is like the stuff off of whatever that last EP was, hey, it's going to be good. Not my favorite, but it's going to be good. But yeah, to wrap up my ramblings, just once again, great song. But I'm out of things to say on the music, I'm out of things to say on the lyrics, so y'all know the drill. It is time to select the next thing we'll be reacting to. And again, we have had the new Baby Metal album come out, so we'll be checking out a new track off of that one next time, specifically Time Wave, which I've heard a lot of people talking about. No idea what to expect sound-wise with that, but I'm very excited to check it out, because the previous stuff off of this album has been phenomenal. Only one that's been a little weak has been Mirror Mirror, and that's just still... Mostly just, I don't tend to go for that sort of prog style, right? But even Maya, which I would consider to be the least exciting song, is super fun and has swiftly become one of my favorites. So yeah, just ramblings aside, checking out Time Wave next time. If it's anything like the previous stuff we've gotten off of the album, even some of the weaker stuff, it's gonna be fantastic. So, hey, keep an eye out for that. That'll be happening in a couple days, unless things get crazy around here. But, we figured out the next song. Like I said, nothing more to say on the music or lyrics, so that is going to do it. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like if you liked, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment down below with your own thoughts on the track, any feedback or criticism, or anything you want me to react to. In the description, link to the music video so you can go check it out, support the artist, link to my BAND-MAID videos playlist, my Japanese music playlist, and my rock and metal reactions playlist. Yeah, that's what this is going to be going into. It's been so crazy with so many things going to so many different playlists as of late that I'm losing my mind. But yeah, those 3 playlists down there for some similar content. If you want to check that out from me, that's not how I normally phrase that. Like I said, I'm losing my mind. There will also be links to my Discord server, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify playlist for all the songs I've reacted to, at least the ones up on Spotify, and my link tree, which has all my other stuff in it, in case any of that interests you. Anyways, like I said, that's going to do it. So once again, thank you all for watching, and until next time, I'll be seeing you.